Magic Tree House, Book 32 Winter of the Ice Wizard by Mary Pope Osborne. Chapter 1 Winter Solstice. A cold wind rattled the window pane. But inside the house, it was warm and cozy. Jack and Annie were making Christmas cookies with their mom. Jack pressed a star-shaped cookie cutter into a doof. "Hey, it's snowing outside," said Annie. Jack looked out the window. Huge snowflakes were falling from the late afternoon sky. "Do you want to go out?" said Annie. "Not really. It will be dark soon," said Jack. "That's right," said their mom. "Today is the first day of winter. It's the shortest day of the year." Jack's heart skipped a beat. You mean it's the winter solstice?" he said. "Yes," said their mom. Annie gasped. "The winter solstice?" he said. "Yes," their mom said, puzzled. Jack and Annie looked at each other. Last summer, Merlin the magician had called their help on the summer solstice. Maybe he would need them again today. Jack put down the cookie cutter and wiped his hand on the towel. "Actually, Mom, it might be fun to play in the snow for just a few minutes," he said. "Whatever you want," their mom said. "Just drink warmly. I'll finish up with the cookies and put them in the oven." "Thanks," said Jack, and he and Annie raced to the closet and pulled on their boots. They threw on jackets, scarves, gloves, and caps. "Be home before dark," their mom said. "We will," called Jack. "Bye, Mom," Annie shouted. Jack and Annie slipped out for their house into the snowy cold. Their boots squeaked as they ran across the white yard and headed toward the Frog Creek woods. At the edge of the woods, Jack stopped. He couldn't believe how beautiful the trees looked. White powder covered the branches of the hemlocks and pines. "Look," said Annie. She pointed to two pairs of footprints that led out to the road and then back into the woods. "Somebody else had been here." "It looks like they're walking out of the woods, but turn back," said Jack. "Let's hurry." If the magic treehouse had come back today, he didn't want anyone else finding it first. Jack and Annie walked quickly through the woods, following the two sets of footprints. "Stop," said Annie. She pulled Jack behind a tree. "Over there." Through the falling snow, Jack saw two people in long dark cloaks. They were hurrying toward a tall oak, and high in the oak was the magic treehouse. "Oh no," said Jack. The treehouse was back, and someone else had found it. "Hey!" Jack yelled. "Stop!" The treehouse had come for him and Annie. No one else. Jack started running. Annie followed. Jack slipped and fell in the snow, but he scrambled up and kept going. By the time he and Annie got to the treehouse, the two people had climbed up the rope ladder and disappeared inside. "Come out!" Jack yelled. "This is our treehouse!" shouted Annie. Two kids poked their head out of the treehouse window. They both looked like they were about 13 years old. The boy had tousled red hair and freckles. The girl had sea blue eyes and long curly black hair. Their cheeks were rosy from the cold. They laughed when they saw Jack and Annie. "Excellent," said the boy. "We came to find you, but you have found us instead." "Teddy!" cried Annie. "Kathleen, hi!" Teddy was the young sorceress who worked with Morgan in her library in Camelot. Kathleen was an enchanted silky girl who'd help Jack and Annie on the summer solstice by magically turn them all into seals. Jack was stunned. He had never imagined that their two friends from Camelot might someday visit Frog Creek. "What are you guys doing here?" he shouted. "Climb up and we'll tell you," said Teddy. Jack and Annie hurried up the rope ladder. When they climbed inside the treehouse, Annie threw her arms around Teddy and Kathleen. "I can't believe you came to visit us," she said. "It's pleased to meet you, Annie," said Kathleen. "And you also, Jack." Her large blue eyes sparkled. "It's pleased to meet you too," Jack said shyly. He still thought Kathleen was the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. Even when she'd been a seal, she'd been lovely. We went looking for you," said Teddy. "We climbed down and walked through the woods to the road." "But the road was full of monsters," said Kathleen. "A big red creature nearly ran over us. It made a honky sound. Before we knew it, a giant black monster charged at us. It has a ferocious growl," said Teddy. "We come back here to gather our wits." "Those not monsters," said Annie, laughing. "They are just cars." "Cars?" said Teddy. "Yeah, they have motors and people drive them." "Motors?" said Teddy. "It's hard to explain," said Annie. "Just remember, in our world, you have to watch out for cars every time you cross a road." "Indeed we will," said Teddy. "Why have you come here?" asked Jack. "We found a message for you in Merlin's chambers," said Teddy, "and decided to deliver ourselves." "So we climbed into the treehouse outside Morgan's library," said Kathleen. Teddy pointed the word Frog Creek in the message and made a wish to come here. The next thing we knew, we were here in this woods. Teddy pulled a small gray stone from his cloak. And this is the message we brought you," he said. Jack took the stone from Teddy. The message was written by tiny handwriting. Jack read it out. "To Jack and Annie of Frog Creek. My staff of strength has been stolen. On the winter solstice, journey to the land behind the clouds. Travel toward the setting sun and retrieve my staff, or all will be lost. Merlin." "Oh, wow," said Annie. "That sounds serious." "Yeah," said Jack, "but why didn't Merlin send us the message himself?" "We don't know," said Teddy. "Neither Merlin or Morgan has been seen for days." "Where did they go?" "'Tis a mystery," said Teddy. "Last week I journeyed to the Silky Cove to bring Kathleen to Camelot. She is going to be a helper in Morgan's library. But when we returned, we could not find Merlin or Morgan." "We only found this message for you," said Kathleen. "Aye, and I thought that when Merlin does return," said Teddy, "he will be greatly pleased to have his staff back. Much of his power comes from its ancient and mysterious magic." "Wow," said Annie. "In his message, he tells us to go to the land behind the clouds," said Jack. "Where's that?" "'Tis a land far more north my cove," said Kathleen. "I have never journeyed there." "Nor I," said Teddy. "But I have read about in Morgan's books. 'Tis as black as but 'tis as bleak as frozen white desert. I am eager to see it for myself. So you and Kathleen are coming with us? Said Annie. Indeed, said Kathleen. Great, said Jack and Annie together. If we all work together, we can do anything. Aye, said Teddy. Aye, said Annie. I hope so, thought Jack. Annie pointed at the words land behind the clouds. In Merlin's message, Okay, ready? She said to the others. Yes, said Kathleen. I guess so, said Jack. Onward, said Teddy. I wish we could all go there, Annie said. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. Chapter 2. Land behind the cloud. Jack felt a sharp bite of an icy wind. He looked out the window with the others. Oh man, he whispered. The treehouse was not in a tree, for there were no trees anywhere to be seen. Instead, it was sitting high on top of a stiff snowdrift plain. Other trees rose and fell across the vast snowy plain. Beyond the plain were hills and mountains. The books are right, said Teddy, his teeth chattering. "'Tis bleak here indeed." "No, it's lovely," said Kathleen. "'Tis a land where the northern seal people live." "Cool," said Annie. Jack dug his hand into his pocket. He agreed with Teddy. The land did seem bleak and freezing. "I wonder where Merlin's staff of strength is," he said, shriveling. "Let us begin our search," said Kathleen. "The message tells us we must travel toward the setting sun." Kathleen climbed up of the treehouse window. She gathered his cloak around her and sat down on top of the snowdrift. Then she pushed off and slid down the steep slope. "Oh, wow, wait for me!" called Annie. She climbed out the window and followed Kathleen. Whooping, she slid to the bottom of the snowdrift. "Come on, you guys, it's fun!" She shouted. Jack and Teddy looked at each other. "Shall we?" said Teddy. Jack nodded. He pulled his scarf tighter around her neck and followed Teddy out the window. Jack and Teddy sat down side by side. They pushed off and slid down the icy snowdrift. Jack couldn't help whooping too. It was fun. At the bottom of the drift, Jack and Teddy scrambled to their feet. Jack brushed the snow off his clothes. He could see his breath in the frigid air. "It's just a little chilly," said Annie, hugging himself. Only Kathleen seemed not to mind the cold. She was smiling as they lay on the ground, gazing up the sky. "Her seal natural protect keeps her warm," Jack thought with envy. Teddy peered across the snowy plain. "I believe not one living creature is here about us," he said. "Not true at all," said Kathleen. Pointed upward. "I see snow geese, whistling swans." "I can almost see them too." Kathleen stood up. She shelled her eyes and gazed across the plain. The cold sun was low in the sky. It cast long blue shadows. Banished in the snowdrift. She pointed to the distance. "And see, a white hare was slipping home before dark," she said. Jack looked at Kathleen pointed, but he couldn't see anything moving at all. The end. See you next time. You can see our next video and you will know more about Magic Tree House, Winter of the Ice Wizard. Bye bye.